In this video, you will learn how to create and execute an annotator on a property of a dataset published on Sage. An annotator is used to automatically analyze textual metadata and link it with a term from a semantic vocabulary or a knowledge base, such as Wikidata. This scenario assumes that you have already published a dataset and know how to browse the data. Select a dataset from the datasets list. Make sure the dataset is published. Then, navigate to the View and Annotate tab, where you can browse the values of your dataset. Let's assume that you wish to enrich the description property of the provided CHO class, so navigate to it. Select the icon with the plus sign to add an annotator. You are now presented with the Add Annotator sidebar, where you need to define all the relevant parameters for the annotator. First, give a descriptive name to the annotator. In the drop-down list below, you can see several types of annotators that are supported by Sage. For example, there are annotators that perform generic named entity recognition based on third-party machine learning tools, annotators that issue queries to Wikidata, and annotators that apply string matching within domain vocabularies or thesauri. In the following, I will show you how to set up an annotator that applies matches to a specific thesaurus uploaded to Sage. To do so, select the Simplified in Thesaurus Annotator option. Then, you need to select one of the available thesauri uploaded on Sage. For this example, select the Europeana Fashion Thesaurus. When selecting a thesaurus, more options appear. In the Language option, select one of the available languages. This is the language that will be used to match the input text. It is important that the language that you select here matches the language of the data inside your dataset, otherwise no matches will be produced. In this case, I will select French language because the dataset is in French. Then, from the drop-down list under Scheme, you can choose to restrict the matching to terms that belong to certain classes of the fashion thesaurus. For example, let's limit the annotator to terms that represent colors. In the Lemmatizer option, you specify whether to apply lemmatization to the input text. This is generally desirable since it will produce eventually more matches. Then, you must select the variant of the execution. Select Grouped Execution, which groups identical values together before analyzing them for efficiency reasons. Finally, you should specify the default target property of the annotator. The target property indicates the default EDM property where the vocabulary term or URI will be added in the output enriched record. Let's choose DC format since this is the most appropriate property for terms representing colors. Click Save and the annotator is created. You will see a new section called Annotators under the property you created the annotator. If you collapse it, you will see the newly created annotator. From the Options menu, select Execute so that the annotator starts producing results. Once the execution is finished, select from the menu Preview Annotation to check the results. A sidebar opens. On the left, you see the original value. On the right, you see the annotations produced for this value. On top of each value, the number of items that have this exact value is indicated. By moving your mouse to an annotation, you can see exactly the part of the original text that the annotation refers to. Close the sidebar. If you are generally satisfied with the produced annotation, select Publish from the annotator options. After publication, you gain access to a validation environment that allows you to inspect, accept, reject each individual automatic annotation as well as to manually add new ones. If you are not satisfied with the produced annotations, you can use the Edit option of the annotator to change the settings and then try to execute it again.